take projection.
Welcome everybody to Taking On Sports. I am TD. That is Greg. Greg, how you doing, man?
I am good, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm pretty good. It is Sunday evening here, recording late Sunday night actually for us. And let's see, did anything big happen this week related to college
Hmm.
football? Do you know?
I
Um,
don't know. Couldn't think
uh,
of anything.
of course, you know, if y'all are listening to this, you probably are in the same camp we are, but for the first time in over a decade, EA Sports releases a college football game, and fans around the country and the world have rejoiced. It's been a great week.
Right.
Those who got the deluxe edition got it, Monday, Tuesday, a little
Yeah.
early. Uh, some folks like us, normal folks, got it on. I actually got it Thursday night. The GameStop here had
Nice.
a
Yeah.
little early. So it's been fun. It's been nice. What are
It
your
has been fun.
what was the first thing you did when you fired up your copy?
Man, I just played a quick game with
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, just see how they looked, and just wanted to see how the game looked. I mean, the graphics and stadium and everything. It's legit.
Mm-hmm. Who'd you play
I
against?
mean, LSU.
LSU. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did Bama, Tennessee. You know, I had whooped Tennessee's
Nice.
ass to start. So,
Yeah. Nice.
um, have you
Mm.
just been playing around? Have you started Dynasty, anything like that? What
Yeah,
have you been doing so far?
me and my wife, we started a dynasty. Started
Nice.
off as cause she didn't necessarily like to play the game, but she likes the recruiting and
Mm.
all that type of stuff. So it's pretty
This-
cool.
mm,
But yeah, we started off at UAB as an offensive coordinator,
okay.
moved up to head coach at Memphis, then had a couple years there, moved to South Carolina head coach, and now I'm in Tuscaloosa as the head coach. Yeah, we were on 2029 now.
Yeah. So y'all have really played it. Yeah.
Yeah, lot of sending more,
Mm-hmm.
if it's a big game or when I'm not comfortable with the sim, I'll at least play the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
But because that sim, some of those sims have been brutal. If you
Yeah, that's been a thing out on the
yeah,
internet so far. One of the critiques of the game is the sim engine is a little skewered,
yeah,
a
it's
little
a,
too wild.
yeah, like I was like my sec, like it was after, what was it? Played against Notre Dame as my first game in Alabama at South Bend, like number 10 in the country. I think they were like 15 and beat them. Next week, Oklahoma State came to Tuscaloosa at 1-1. I think because they played week 0 or something. But anyway, I thought, well, they're not ranked. It'll be fine. Took an L real quick. Sim took an L real quick.
Oh
I said, what
no!
the?
Oh
Yeah, so
no!
that sim is something serious. You know,
It
we
is.
we
I think.
think. I mean, we saw it every now and again, even back in the day with the directional school and the knockoff somebody in the
Uh-huh.
dynasty.
Oh
But
man,
yeah,
those are the worst back in the day because I think the rule we played by was
it
you
was
gotta.
a it was an FCS. I think it wouldn't let you lose, but if it was a D1, you had to take the L no matter what or something. I think that's
Yeah.
how it was.
We basically played games against each other, and you could play top 25 games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else you had to sim and just take whatever the result was. And yeah,
All right.
sometimes you get that you'd be rolling like 6-0. You may have beaten one or two other guys in the dynasty. You feeling good, and then you come up against like Utah State knock your ass out. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. How did that happen? They don't have anybody in the 80s on the whole
Yeah,
team.
right. Yeah, right. But no, it has been one of the things I've seen online so far. I haven't gotten that deep in my dynasty yet. We actually went out of town this weekend, so I got the game, and then
Okay.
haven't had too
Didn't
much
get to play
actually.
it.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
had a long time to dive in.
Yeah, we
Um, yeah,
downloaded it yesterday, and man, boy, I was probably, well, I don't know, I probably went to sleep about 2 this morning, and my wife fired it up at about 7 this morning, just doing the recruiting stuff. And
nice.
recruiting is tough. It's a little harder than I remember.
It's a
Um,
lot involved. Like I said,
it's a lot
I'm
involved.
literally, I'm just like a couple weeks. I started,
Yeah, I mean, it's a
like
lot
starting one
involved. You got
star.
to build your
Yeah.
whole list, and oof,
Hmm.
it's a journey.
It is. I think. Yeah, I started out Hawaii. I'm their offensive coordinator, so
Nice.
we'll
It,
see where I can go
it's
there.
not,
With
yeah. See what you can do there. It's weird though. The only thing that's kind of weird is no matter what you are, you recruit the same, which I thought was kind of weird.
yeah, and I think it used to be like that too in the last few iterations of the game
Right.
on the old gens. Yeah, even if you're like just an offensive coordinator, you recruit
Everybody.
everybody. Which yeah, I do think it's a little.
It's a little
It
weird,
does.
but
Yeah, it does feel like they should scale back recruiting if you're just a coordinator. Like you should wait to
right.
do the full thing until your head coach. Should be.
And then the other thing too is like if you, I thought it's kind of weird too. Like if you're the offensive coordinator at school, you can play the whole game. I thought maybe it was gonna be, you know, I mean, you could choose to play the offensive side only, or choose to play the
Yeah.
defensive side only. But I thought that was gonna be like an automatic thing if you want to play the head coach. But
Yeah.
little things, nothing too crazy. The only annoying thing so far is when you're doing your recruiting, if you have the sound on, all it is that drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some at
It's
least the
cool
fight
to
songs in there.
it's cool the first like few minutes. You're like, okay, these
Yeah,
guys are legit, and then you're like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, I think
At
on my
least get the
Xbox,
fight
yeah,
songs up
yeah, I
there.
think I'll be playing my own music. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah,
Other than
I haven't seen anything weird. The one thing I did, so of course, like I said, I played a couple games of Bama first. Had whooped Tennessee's ass. Same thing as you.
yeah,
Just kind of wanted to see gameplay wise. I think it feels great. Like
yeah, it's pretty
no
legit.
complaints really about everything. Yeah, it's good. It
Hmm.
feels good. I haven't
Yeah,
really played around with like all the different offenses yet. Like seeing how the
yeah,
option and all that. I will say they switched it up on the read option, so now you got to press A to keep the ball,
yeah,
and that's thrown me off a couple times. But
yeah. Because it used to be the trigger. Yeah.
you used to have to hold it down to hand it off,
Hmm.
and now if you
Yeah.
don't press the button, it'll hand it off, and you got to press it
Right.
to pull it
Yeah.
basically. But
Yeah.
so I did notice one thing too, and hopefully these are things, and they seem like things that EA can fix with a patch, an update.
Yeah. Because I saw
Um,
some of that thing wasn't verified, but there was gonna be a patch dropping tomorrow. So I don't know
oh
what
yeah,
that.
well,
So we'll see
but
what.
of course, one of the first things I did when I fired up Dynasty is I
Hmm.
spent, I might have smoked a little stuff there, but I spent a long time making the conferences I wanted.
Nice.
Switching them up. Got the
Yeah.
since you can do the Pac-12 still in the game technically, you can add all the people back to it, and
Hmm.
switch around
Yeah.
ACC.
I thought about that, but yeah, I didn't touch that yet. But yeah,
Oh no, I did. Yeah, I have to. I was like, I don't
yeah,
want to play
had
with
to do
this.
it.
I don't want to see UCLA in the Big Ten. I
Right.
never don't want to see Stanford in the ACC. I was like, nah. So
So weird.
I got all that
Yeah.
back, and then a couple other changes here and there that I always like
Hmm.
to make. Little things. Got the Big 12, pretty much the original Big 12, but I added SMU
Nice.
and Houston.
That
But
makes sense.
yeah, little things. Like make sure Maryland's in the ACC where they belong. Uh,
Right.
um, but so when I got into Dynasty, I was kind of looking around the schedules, and I did notice, at least in the first season, I haven't uh, moved on yet, that it does there create some scheduling
Yeah, you can
challenges.
adjust.
So if you don't do divisions, Yeah, and I think I missed that too. I know you can fix schedules at the first week, and I think I skipped over that and probably
Okay.
would have caught it and looked at it too late. But like, so if you you know how you can customize conferences and you can make it all one
Hmm.
conference, or you can split divisions. Well, if you do divisions, you can
Right.
protect rivalries. If you don't do divisions, it doesn't give you that option. I
Oh.
didn't do divisions. And so I'm looking on the schedule and it's like Michigan and Ohio State aren't even playing in the new Big Ten.
Oh.
And
Oh. Hmm.
so it's like, oh, okay. So I got to remember now. It's like, okay, maybe go
Horrible.
back.
Right.
Yeah, go back and maybe
Hmm.
remember to
Yeah,
change
I didn't.
that.
Right. Yeah, I
Make,
didn't
make,
think.
but otherwise, yeah, like I've seen some people out. There's a lot of people online kind of mad that calling it buggy, or like there's some of these problems like with the Sims and what we just talked about, that
Hmm.
they're like should have
Yeah.
been fixed beforehand. And you're probably right, if you had this much time to make the game. And
Right. But
but it is what it
hey,
is.
I
It's
mean,
just the happiness everyone has that this game's back out. It plays great.
yeah, it plays smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go into the stadium, I mean, they have great,
Hmm.
your entrances and everything are pretty cool. Stadiums. I mean, there's different stadiums I've been to. I mean, seem pretty accurate for the most part.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, the gameplay is a little different, but I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, I didn't know. I can honestly say, I was just excited to play the game. I didn't know really have super high
Hmm.
expectations because I was just hoping, man, I just hope it's not like Madden too much. It doesn't seem to be too much. That was my biggest thing. But I think for the most part, I'm happy with it. I mean, it's been so long. I mean, I don't think it had to be overly great for us to enjoy it, but yeah, I'm sure they'll have some patches, clean up some stuff, and it'll
Hmm.
only get better from here.
Yeah, exactly. I think of course, people, they want to. Everybody wants to bitch online. Everybody's got to say
Oh
something.
yeah,
But I think I've seen more positivity than negative.
oh yeah, yeah,
It looks great too. It's the presentation, the
yeah.
how they got little, the little details they got in there for
Dude, they
like
even have the people
specific.
as holding the cards and stuff on the sideline. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Those little details are like school specific stuff. There's a lot of like unique things to like mascots, the way
Hmm.
they celebrate. There's a lot of custom
Yeah,
stuff like that that's really cool.
yeah.
Um, so I think all of that stuff is great. I haven't really. I hopped on the Ultimate Team for a second. I won't really mess
Hmm.
with that mode too much. I just kind of wanted to see like what card I would get or something like that.
Right.
See
Yeah,
if I got like
haven't tried that
a
quite yet.
yeah, like a classic. Um, there's so much depth in Dynasty mode. I feel like it's really cool. Um, and I haven't even like gotten to the deep of it yet. So
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to do with the recruiting. Like you can,
yeah.
offer the scholarship. You can. I mean, there's a lot of different options, and you have different weeks where you can,
Hmm.
uh, if they're ready to visit, you can pick which week to, come and visit. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
And I haven't played. I haven't even tried Road to Glory yet. The main thing I've heard from people online, just the main videos, are pretty funny. The people that I know have played said, "Do not do the underdog because that is,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess,
you will.
crazy hard."
It's crazy hard.
Never
Well,
played.
the funniest two things, yeah, I've seen people that like tried to be the underdog and just never got
Yeah.
playing time. Like maybe
Right.
they got in their senior year.
Yeah.
And then the other funny thing is, I guess when you're in Road to Glory, you can text girls or DM girls or whatever, but you can get
Hmm.
blocked by them too. And I saw this one dude who was like, did whatever he do and he got blocked, and I thought that was hilarious.
That is funny.
Um, but yeah, like I said, everything I've seen and haven't even like really dove into it yet.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's great to have it back. There's been I can't
Man,
count how many times because I didn't have the foresight back when they canceled it. I actually had what was it back then? I guess a 360 and a PS3,
yeah.
and I if I do it over again, I would have kept like one of those two.
Hmm.
I guess the PS3 since I had I upgraded to Xbox One back then, but I would have kept
Right,
that in my copy of NCAA 14 or something just to play it over the years. But because
right.
there's been many times over the past decade when I've been playing another sports game and I have fun. I'm a big FIFA fan. I love the 2K
Mm,
franchise. Which really has you talk about a deep franchise mode. The NBA 2K games.
it really
It's
is.
hard to beat how deep those. I mean, but there's
And
been so many
honestly, back
times
in the day, they 2K made an epic NFL game back in
they.
'05.
Oh man, yeah. NFL 2K for a while it was rivalry. They put out a couple college basketball games that we used to play too. Um, that were pretty dope.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I remember the 2K college basketball game was the one that introduced the coaching carousel at the end of the
oh
season,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
added that realism to it, where you don't just pick a random school. You got to wait for that coach to get fired or leave.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I just so many times playing those games, even as much as I enjoyed them, and I was like, man, I wish I was playing college football right now. So just to have that back
Yeah.
is
It's
great. I'm
awesome.
looking forward to working my way up through the ranks, getting to Tuscaloosa eventually, or
Yeah.
starting it all over again. Getting
Right.
seeing how far I can take that dynasty mode. Maybe at
You know.
some point, maybe I'll do like a team builder. Make
Hmm.
my own team.
Yeah. I mean, I remember doing that a couple times back in
Yeah.
college, like where you make a whole thing, and
Hmm.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, but the the crazy thing though is when you do your coach. I mean, they have like 400 different faces and stuff you
I
can do. I was
know.
like, man, I
It,
was like this so in depth.
I was not expecting that when I first
Right?
did it up. I was like, okay, let me pick this guy. He's got a beard and some longish
No.
hair. And then all of a sudden I kept scrolling. I was like, oh wait, well there's oh wait, I can get this same face but gray hair. Like
Right?
like
Yeah.
I was like,
And
damn.
then you were like, man, it's like 400 faces.
But then you got like two shirts.
Yeah, you have that. Yeah, I was like, come on, man. Can we at least get like, cause it's just with the polo or the pullover. I'm just like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
we can't get
the-
like a hoodie or a quarter zip or
right, or different
a
type of pants or
yeah
shoes. Or
different
like,
yeah. What if you want to wear a suit? Yeah, like
right. I mean, it's not
uh
too. I mean, little stuff, but yeah, I mean, I was like, man, that's kind of weird. You only have the
no,
two
yeah,
things.
it,
Give me
it
a
was funny.
visor or a hat or
That yeah, because that's what I was looking for. It's like I need a visor, man. That's
yeah,
the football coach, and like
right.
it's just funny how EA and I know they have different you know development teams for all their games, but if you play EAFC, if you
Hmm.
start uh, a manager career there, you can. It's not 500 choices, but it's the same thing. You can really work with the face and really uh,
Hmm.
customize your look. But then when you get choices, you can wear like t-shirt and jeans. You can wear a full suit. You can wear like a hoodie or a pullover with your team's logo on it. Like
Right.
I was like, that's all I'm asking. Just give me that 5 to 10 choices.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but
let me.
we don't
I could.
necessarily need 400 faces, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need that many faces, but give me some. I can either
Right.
dress like Bill Belichick, or, give me a
Yeah.
t-shirt. I can be one of those coaches, or give me a polo, give me a hoodie, give
Right.
me a pullover, give me the zip up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let me
Yeah, just a few more options with the with what you want
let
on the sideline.
right. Let me get a visor so I can take the visor off and throw it like the old ball coach used to.
Right.
Like. But yeah. Other than that, I'm thrilled. It's great to
Yeah, it's
have it.
fun.
Um,
Yeah, it's a good time. It has been a good time, and man, it's just like the old days. You're like, man, it feels like it's a bit like 30 minutes. Holy snap, it's been like five
yeah,
hours.
it's been. Yeah, you're
Wait,
like, oh,
let me. I gotta turn it off. I'm an adult
oh
now. I
man.
got stuff I gotta do.
how many right? How many times were we playing back in the day in the dorms or in the
Man,
apartment or something? You just play a couple games, you have a good time. The next thing you know, someone looks at the clock and goes, "Oh shit, it's 4 in the morning." Damn,
man, I got
that's
class at 8.
yeah, right. That 8 a.m. class comes really early then.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was you or me, we probably skipped that class too. To be
Man, yeah.
honest.
Have I listen, you think about it? Have I been this? I've been the last 3. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
be all right.
yeah.
And it's
I
funny.
mean,
It's funny what your mind can make rational at 7:30
huh.
in the morning to make sense why you're not
Right
going.
when that alarm hits, you look outside and it's raining. You're like, oh, I see. We had a test Monday, so it's not like there's going to be a quiz today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been doing good. I've been missing a
yeah.
month. I'll be all
It's like, man, it's a big class. Let me text this dude to have him sign in on the attendance sheet for me.
right. Yeah,
Professor
right.
won't know.
All right.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Those
funny.
man, we used to have
And
some
then,
long ones too back in the day. Yeah,
and
back
then
and
when we
especially you remember. Like, go ahead.
and then we had the wing plays downstairs too in the dorm.
Oh, ooh,
Get something to eat about 1 o'clock, 2.
just like
A little
recharge
nightcap.
for the night. Yeah, and
Oh,
that was back when too. When we were in college and played, the recruiting was only in the off season. I
yeah,
remember that was a part of the dynasty we all hated because during the season, all you did was play the games. You
right.
play sim, so
Yeah,
we'd have
and
fun,
I,
and then you had to get everybody in a room for recruiting. All
yeah,
12 guys playing the dynasty. Had to be
hmm,
like, all right, 10 o'clock tonight, TD's room.
yeah,
We got to
right.
play that. Yeah, we got to do recruiting. If you're not
Gotta
there, we're
do
gonna we're
crew.
gonna sim it for you. So
Yeah,
don't cry when you get a
can't be
bunch of two
mad.
stars. Yeah, right.
All right.
So everybody be like, oh shit, let's go get some wings first. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a good time. And now it's every week
Mm-hmm.
recruiting
Transfer
and
portal in the
books your list.
game. Oh
Yep.
yeah. No man. It's funny though because it it brings back trying to and that's cool man that your wife plays it with you. My wife's not a gamer, and she's we were talking this week and I was like, shit, wait, when are we going out of town and when are we doing this and
Hmm.
because we got to go out of town again this week for work for a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, I was like, wait, what day? And she's like, why? And I was like, because college football comes out. She's like, what? A video game? I was like, no, not just any game. You'll
It's not
understand.
just any game. This is
It
something
hasn't been out for
serious.
over 10 years. This is serious
Yeah,
business now. Yeah.
this is big.
I was like,
Yeah.
she just looking at me. And I'm like, look, this is part of me.
Hmm.
If you love me, you have to accept
All right.
this.
It might
Uh,
sound crazy, but
yeah. It's not crazy. It, but no, like the wave of emotions, nostalgia you get, and it
yeah,
starts thinking back all the memories, like some favorite. Like, do you have any like real specific memories of like certain things that happened like in our dynasties back in the day?
yeah. I remember that one time. I wasn't as good as you guys at the game.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, I was playing Jeremy
Mm-hmm.
Duckworth, and I pulled out the
Yeah,
upset.
that's back when he was JD. Yeah,
Yeah, JD, and he was
uh,
pissed. And but oh my god,
uh,
and and I think I pulled it off with like
it was like a last second Hail Mary, man.
a last second Hail Mary, I believe.
And
Got it
then
wide
he
open, boom, is what the
and
yeah,
then he
that was
got
great.
up and put his hand right through the closet. I
Yeah,
remember that.
pissed.
Punched. It
Pissed.
was it wasn't even his room though, was it? Wasn't it like
No,
J Rock? It was J Rock's room, wasn't it? It was
yeah, I
somebody's
think it
room.
was. Yeah, I think it was J Rock show. So
He
funny.
fucking punched his hand through the closet. I mean, it's that cheap
So
little closet
funny.
dorm door, but still.
Yeah,
And you were
so
like,
funny.
not like you say you weren't as good at the game, but it was also you were like Southern Miss, and he had like
Yeah,
Florida State or something like.
right. It was something crazy. And because I
It's
just
like,
kept on hanging, and at the end I just like it, do up the.
Threw up the
Yes.
Greg running that original, the 4 verts offense, verticals, go
Mm-hmm.
deep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was one of them. I remember thinking
That was
definitely a time
hilarious.
or two somebody probably broke a controller. I remember
Hilarious.
one crazy game too. That we were in my room. I think it was sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of us playing. It was that time that the RA, that dude came over. Was like, "You guys need to quiet down."
Oh,
He was so mad, but we were hyped because our boy Eddie was playing. I forget the dude's name, but he was beating Eddie's ass. But slow by slow, Eddie just kind of chipped away at the lead. And in the fourth quarter,
mm-hmm.
Eddie got it close, like within a score. And this dude kept trying to be cocky. Instead of running the ball, he just wanted to throw it. And then he threw a pick six.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie tied it up. And then Eddie got the ball back again. He threw another pick, and Eddie came back. And I mean, he was down like 20 some points at least.
Yeah.
And it was,
Yeah,
we
that's
got wild. And all of a sudden, we hear that bang, bang, bang. Over the, yeah. I told you
yeah,
guys, you need to calm it
he
down.
hated
Don't make me angry.
he
And there's like 12
he
of us in
hated
there.
us.
He did. And we looked at him like, okay, my bad, B.
All right.
Go back to your room. It's fine.
You'll be all right.
Because I don't know we were waking up because everybody in the floor was in the room. So,
It seemed like this full
yeah.
of people out here.
Oh man.
That's good times. Good
Mhm.
times.
But yeah, stuff like that, or freshman year, going to what was his nickname? Putter's room.
Putter, yeah. Putter,
Um,
who was that? Was that Rod?
Rod, our freshman year
Yeah.
RA. Yeah. Eventually, we moved it from Putter's room to my room, like the spot to
Yeah.
be to play it, and that man did not clean up his room. Uh,
No, he didn't. He didn't. Uh,
um, but yeah, it's just funny thinking back on those classic moments. You watch
yeah.
big upsets, big games,
Yeah.
people,
And we had some great time with that.
hmm it's how we shit. I mean, our boy Nate, a good friend of mine, still, chef at Turkey and the Wolf, or Hot Stuff now. He's got
Yeah.
his new restaurant down in New Orleans. So if you're listening to this in New
Nice.
Orleans, go check it out.
Go
Hot
check it
Stuff
out.
is a little taste of Alabama down in New Orleans there. But
Nice.
uh, that's how we met him. He said,
Yeah, it was.
we were playing down in that big room. We had brought the PlayStation down, hooked it up to that big screen TV,
Mm-hmm.
and he was
Oh
like,
yeah,
he came at,
down in the
mhm.
living room. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had kind of just saw us playing, was hanging out, and then
Yeah.
I think
That's
like a
right.
week or something later, we were just chilling, like in my room maybe or something like that, playing it. And he just kind of walked by and was propped up in the door. He's like, "Y'all playing?" He's like, "Yeah, we got a dynasty. You play?" He's like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah.
You want in? He's like, "Yeah, I'll take a team." And
Yeah.
then that motherfucker used to get Navy and run that triple option on us
That
and
triple
fuck
option
that
shit. Yeah.
damn fuck our world up.
Yeah. That triple option, man. It was hard to stop.
And then especially back then because the mechanics weren't great in the game, and
No.
you would have him wrapped up with 3 dudes, and he'd hit that pitch button. That motherfucker would still
Yeah.
somehow
Right.
throw that ball, perfect pitch,
With three people on
70
his
yard,
ankle.
yeah, 70-yard touchdown run, boom.
Yeah. Craziness.
Bringing Navy to national title games and shit.
Yeah.
But it was
Talking about
mhm.
talking about the downstairs in that common area with the big TV. Remember that weird dude who had the remote? And we were watching some big
Oh,
game.
I
It
don't
was
know. It
Auburn
was
and
Florida.
it was
It was
Auburn,
all
Florida, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was either, and that was
That
either
fool came
02
in
or
and changed,
03. It was a
and he
big
came
one
and changed it to the World Series.
to that Giants Angels World Series, if I remember right.
Yeah,
That nobody cared about. We didn't give a shit. And this
because he had
dude
a
had like
universal remote.
he had bought a universal remote at Walmart or something, and
Oh,
was like had it in his pocket for this game, and there was like 30 people in this common room.
oh,
If you go down, if you've been to Alabama, if you went to Alabama, you know it was down there downstairs in Burke
Burke
on
West,
the, was it the west side? It was
bottom
on
floor. Yeah,
yeah, it was the bottom floor. It was the opposite side of the wing place,
yeah, it
and
was on yeah,
yeah,
on
and
the
it was
west
just,
side. Yeah,
it was like this rec room. It had like a pool table, like a ping pong table on the back there, and it had this big
yeah,
screen TV back
couches
in.
and
Yeah, and so it was where, but for big games, a bunch of people go down there, you know. And it was a Florida
oh
Auburn game. I remember that because I think it was one of the Carlsons that kicked. I think
yeah,
he kicked. I think Auburn
I
upset
think
Florida.
right.
Um,
So
and
I
yeah,
remember
I
Steve
remember
was
that.
so pissed
Uh huh. Oh yeah, our boy Stephen
because
Long,
Steve
big Florida
was a
fan.
big Florida fan. I still don't know how he was down. That's so funny though. But
Mm,
he was so mad that day. He's like,
oof.
"What?"
But yeah,
Oh,
that dude. I remember that dude. I know what you're talking about. He, we were all, and it was late in the game. It wasn't like he changed it during a commercial in the second
no,
quarter.
it was
Clutch
like clutch
time.
fourth quarter, last 5 minutes, tied game or something.
The
Someone's
game,
driving
yeah,
down.
the
I mean,
game
it's
going
coming
on,
down.
not even a commercial, and all of a sudden the TV switches over to the World Series. Man, a big event, but again, Angels and Giants. No one in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, gave a fuck.
Give not at
And
all.
everybody in there's like, oh, what the fuck? Turns around and he's got his remote trying to hide it, and we're like, no, what the fuck you doing? Turn it back.
So funny. Oh,
Oh
that was
man,
so funny.
I remember that dude. He used to, you catch him walking back from the Skyland Walmart with like 20 bags in each hand, and he was
Mm,
killing it.
yeah. He was a nice enough dude. Like,
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's a different guy.
Yeah,
Super
he
nice,
just
but that day, that was one of the funniest things ever. 'Cause I thought, man, he's gonna get killed.
yeah, right. It's like, do you know where you are?
So,
This is not a
it's
smart
like, man,
idea.
it's a good thing it wasn't a Bama game. He might
Oh
have got
no.
murdered.
Oof. Right.
Oh,
Oof.
so
It's a good thing
funny.
he turned it right back. I will say that
Right?
once there was the uproar, he flipped it right back. He had
Yeah,
realized
he
his
did.
mistake,
Right.
and you know, and this
Uh,
was early cell phone age, so you know, he was maybe just checking the score, but still,
yeah.
wait till a
So,
commercial.
yeah.
And I
Chill
think it
out,
was a
bro.
fact too. Nobody knew he had the remote. You know, it was
That was the funniest part. It
yeah.
just changed. And we're all like, what the so
Oh
funny.
man.
Oh, the memories. Man.
Uh, yeah, that's a good one. 'Cause I know I'm trying to remember. I know some other crazy memories. I know like after school, you know, we had one with, it was like me, Nate, our boy Brett,
Nah.
um, and some people from work
Uh-huh.
when we worked at the Palmas after college. And there was this one play I used to piss Brett off. It was hilarious. We were doing Dynasty, you know, and I was starting at I was at Rutgers. So,
Mm-hmm.
and this was,
Big East strikers.
yeah, it was Big East Rutgers. It was right around, I want to say it might have been like right after like Ray Rice and those years, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when they get those big upsets
They
when
was legit. Yeah.
yeah, but they weren't that good in the game by the point that we were in the dynasty, because you know I probably started somewhere even smaller,
Right.
took the Rutgers job to get up, and so that, you know, I was trying to build them up. They weren't as good. Brett had moved on to a better school. I forget where, you know, Florida or something like that, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. You know, maybe not even that big, but he had a decent squad, you know, solid squad.
Right.
And it was my first year at Rutgers, but in recruiting, I somehow managed to get this 5-star receiver.
Oh,
And
man.
he was like a Randy Moss dude. He was like 6'6", you know, he's a big dude, fast. There was this one play in the game. It was a receiver pass, and like it would start. This receiver would, it was like a double pass. The receiver would go in motion from right to left.
Yeah.
The quarterback would throw him a backwards pass. He would catch it, and then you would hit the receiver on the left side. Just did a fly
Mm-hmm.
route, just a streak,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it was money every time. It never failed. Every time that receiver went in motion, that first pass, the cornerback bit, no matter what he did, and it was just a wide open touchdown or at least a big play every time. and it used to piss Brett off so much. It was hilarious.
So funny.
He'd start yelling at the TV. He's like, pass,
Man,
pass, pass, pass. And then,
so
but the
funny.
thing was, they had a couple of similar plays with a similar motion, but it wasn't the same thing. So it was like one was like a
Right.
little fake pass handoff, and one was just like a slant to the other side, something like that.
Hmm.
Oh man, he used to get so pissed. I'd run that play.
Oh, so funny. I could just see it. I could
Mm-hmm.
just see his face getting red.
Uh huh.
So funny. That is hilarious.
Oh man,
Oh,
that was the best part of those games, though. Those little things like that,
yeah.
to be hilarious. So the other, two dudes playing, and the other five of us in the room or whatever, laughing our asses off watching it.
Laughing at him. Yeah.
Commentary.
Man. Especially when they would get into the clutch part of the game. It's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Man. It needs to be intense.
Shit got serious, but so it's fun, and I will say it's good that a new generation of college kids gets to play. It's
Yeah.
awesome that players get to see themselves in the game.
That is cool.
Uh, there is going to be, I think, they're going to miss out a little bit. I mean, you can still do dynasties in person, but with online and all that, I think they're going to college kids at least, going to miss out a little bit on that. Like what we were just talking about, having 80 of your buddies in the room and just like,
Yeah, because everybody
mm,
plays,
'cause
so
that
they're just gonna be playing online now. Yeah.
yeah, and that puts some pressure on too. It's one thing you just like, oh yeah, me and Greg got to play this week, so yeah, we got 1 o'clock class together. So after that's over, we'll knock it out.
All right.
But when you get those end of season, those big games or something like that, everybody's in
Yeah.
the room,
Everybody's in there watching. Yeah.
judging
It's
every
a little
call, every
hot in
play
there.
call. Yeah, every play call. Yeah, right. Getting hot. Every play call you make them. Nah, man, you should have went with the pass. No, no, no.
Yeah, you didn't see X was wide open?
Oh, that I used to hate that shit. In the middle of play.
Dude,
Why? Why? Wait a minute. Don't help him. Don't help him.
yeah, you think if saw X, you don't think I would have thrown it to X? So funny.
And just stay over there. Just stay over there.
Right.
Worry
All
about your
right.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, X was wide open and I beat you too.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh,
But no,
so funny.
I think one of the best parts too about it being back is now it really feels like football season's almost here. That used to be like,
Man, yeah, that used to be
uh,
the point where you're like, man, we're almost there.
yeah, you get
Man,
your like preview magazine in June
yeah,
or early July, mid July
yeah,
that NCAA would come out.
mm-hmm,
And then you're like, oh, it's almost here. And then all of a sudden, everybody's talking about it.
yeah,
Fall camp would start, and then it was here.
yeah. I got that feeling back.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good week. I mean, we had SEC media days, and then we
Hmm.
had college football drop, and it's like, man, for me, the season has officially begun. I mean, we're to that
Right?
point.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. Yeah. Speaking of media days, I guess we can move on. Touch on a couple other things. Really, kind of, I guess, a tame media days.
It was. It really
Nothing
was.
real big. First
Nothing
official.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
First
mean,
official.
I think the biggest thing was just how Nick Saban kind of stole the show. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
everybody's
As.
so impressed with his commentary, and I think also people were just amazed that he just stayed for all the days and was really involved. I don't think anybody expected him to be as hands on and ready to go as he was. I mean, he seemed to really enjoy it. I mean, it's got to be a lot. I mean, it's
Mhm.
got to be weird to him, but at the same time, it's got to feel just nice. I mean, he's just talking about football, no pressure on him.
No. Yeah.
So.
That's. Yeah, and we've known it for a while now, ever since he started making those appearances and title
Yeah,
game. Those rare
right.
years when we weren't playing title game, everyone would be like, "Oh man,
Yeah,
Nick Saban's actually really good at this." And
yeah, he really is. I mean, a lot of insight, but he says it in a way that even if you're not the most insightful, you would understand.
hmm um, yeah, and I think it's awesome. there's always going to be haters, and Nick Saban early in
Yeah,
his career, sure, he earned some of it with the I will not coach at Alabama, and then but
yeah,
he's come out and admitted that was a mistake, and
yeah,
he softened up in later years, and I think people are starting to see a side of him that maybe those close to
yeah.
him and players knew all
Players
along.
probably saw, right?
Yeah, he's a jokester. He's a charismatic guy. He really
Yeah,
does care about his players and the
he
game of
does.
college
Right.
football. And
Yeah,
that's one thing us Alabama fans have defended him on for years. When
yeah. People are like, oh, he's just an ass
yeah, whenever he
about
would say something
himself.
about when it was the no huddle offense or whatever, and he
Yeah,
would give his little like, "Is this what we want college football to be?" And
yeah,
everyone would be like, "Oh, well, he's just going to hate it because it won't make it easier for him." And we'd be like, "No, y'all, like he's going to adapt, and we're going to
he's gonna
win
adapt.
in the new way because he's the greatest coach of all time, and we have the resources to adapt."
Man,
He
he
legit
just,
cares about the game of football.
right. Yeah,
Like with his NIL comments, what a couple of
right.
summers ago, and everyone like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, he's just
He's
mad
just
that
mad because
now."
everybody's
Yeah,
catching up.
yeah. Now he can't cheat to get the players. It's like, all right, first of all, if we cheated, prove it. I mean,
Right.
yeah, obviously we all knew back in the day everybody had a bag man, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, hey, still Nick Saban never got put on probation. You know,
Exactly.
so but also, Alabama fans came out and said, no, he legit, and he was right. Like, and now what? Everyone's saying the same thing. NIL's out of
Yeah.
control. Oh, the transfer portal's out of control.
Yeah.
And that's what all he was saying was
Right.
he was genuinely expressing his concern for the game of college football and how
Right.
there needs to be more thought put into the actions. And
Right.
you can't argue with that. From
Nope.
NIL to the portal to conference realignment and all that,
Exactly.
and that's
And
all. And so I
then,
think
right.
people are getting
And
to
then a
see
lot
that.
of the time too, I mean, you have to realize too, when he said some off the wall stuff, after a loss or things,
Mm,
you know, he was also trying to take the bullet for his team. Get them off the
mm-hmm,
players. Put the bullet on him. He'd say something crazy after a loss. After the 2013 after losing to Auburn. About it. It's crazy that they're running the RPO and they're way down the field when throwing the passes or whatever, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're just mad." But at the same time he would say something because it would take some off the team, or he would be sending
mm-hmm.
them a message. So often it may have sounded crazy, but he always had a reason why he did what why he said what he did at different times. There's
Yeah,
always a reason behind it. It wasn't just
mhm.
random.
Yeah, there was always a method to the madness.
Exactly.
It was never him just yelling just to yell.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the only other big, really quote unquote news related to SEC media days was
Hmm.
the horns down, the official announcement from SEC officials officiating
Just
that
depends on how they look at it.
yeah, horns down, not an automatic penalty. If you do it in a player's
Hmm.
face, they probably get you for taunting, but the gesture
Yeah.
itself not
It's
considered
not
unsportsmanlike, which,
right, not egregious or
first, Texas probably expected it, but, a first good wake up call for them. They're like, hey, this ain't Big 12.
say the
Like,
Big 12.
you
Not gonna
are,
get baby.
yeah, you are not above the brand.
Yeah.
The brand here is the SEC, even with
Right.
schools like as great as Alabama and as a lot of people
Georgia
would,
and
hate to see the truth, but Alabama does not control the SEC. It's, much to the
yeah.
chagrin of conspiracy theorists at schools
Right.
everywhere. Yeah, with schools like Alabama, Georgia, and historically, LSU, Florida, Auburn,
Yeah.
Tennessee, all those schools realize that it's about the SEC logo, not,
SEC before all. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so, welcome Texas, horns down. Uh, we're going to be seeing it a lot this year. I have a
Oh
feeling.
yeah. Definitely gonna see it a lot.
Yeah.
Now I will say they got a way more friendly schedule than the other newcomers.
Yeah. And
Talk
when
about
we do
those.
our preview, we will definitely touch on that. And,
Yeah.
got my copy of the Phil Steele preview too, so I got all the
Nice.
information.
Nice. Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, it
yeah,
was. I mean, it was just something to listen to in the background when I was at work. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty calm
yeah,
media day. Nothing outlandish got said,
yeah, no, nothing
but
controversial. Just
no.
like I said, the big news was, like you said, Nick Saban's uh, work for ESPN, the
Yeah.
horns down news, and then it was
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma's first, kind of big
Yeah.
involvement as official members.
As official members, right?
Um, but yeah, real quick, I guess the rest of nothing too major has happened in the world of sports, despite what fellow Alabama taker Adam Morrow apparently had some things to say, jokingly, of course. But Blaine let me know that when we canceled last week, he said there was plenty going on. There was the Tour de France and other
Uh,
stuff. And to that, I say I'd like to quote the great Kenny Powers, and nobody cares about who can exercise the best. Uh, no, all
uh,
the respect in the world to Tour de France guys, and
yeah.
the skill it takes for that. But we ain't gonna talk about cycling on this podcast.
And then the
There
only
was, of
time I
course.
think I ever paid any attention at all to it was when Lance Armstrong was like running through folks, and then you're like,
Hmm.
wait. And then it kind of,
And then the
it
doping
was cool
thing.
back then, and then you realize, wow,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it
he
was like,
was,
yeah. When everybody had their Live Strong bracelet, uh,
right.
there's a certain period of TD's life. If you catch a picture, I had about 5 damn wristbands on, which wasn't the only one.
Right.
I
It was a
remember.
popular thing for a long time.
I had
It
a
was all,
Live Strong one. I had the white one that was for like AIDS. That's the one all the
hmm
celebrities did. And then I had a couple like localized ones. I probably had like a crimson one for Alabama. I think I probably
yeah.
had.
Because
I
it seemed
remember.
like everybody had one at some point.
I remember I had one. A radio station back in Baltimore did one for one of the DJs on the morning show. Passed away of brain cancer, and he had put out, it was kind of like a Jimmy V like statement, and
Yeah.
basically before he died, and about it was, I think it was called "Laugh Hard," if I want to remember right, is what the
hmm
bracelet said, and it was
Nice.
basically like his message was just like, hey, wake up every day, laugh hard, enjoy life,
Yeah.
type. So, but yeah, I know every now and again I'll catch like a college picture of me, it,
Dude,
and that's
that was a fad for a while. Like,
oh
I
yeah.
swear everybody had one at some point.
Hmm.
Whether it was Live Strong or some business or a team or yeah, everybody had one at some point in the early two
Yeah,
thousands.
yeah, but yeah, it's always funny to catch that in an old picture of me,
Yeah.
among the many other horrible, you know, decisions I made via dress or hairstyle or whatever. But
So
you
funny.
know, we all can look back and be like, "Ooh, the
Right. Yeah.
the turn of the century was an interesting time for
It was.
fashion."
It really
Um, but yeah, what else going on this week? Let's see,
I guess some of the bigger things.
baseball Hall
Well,
of Fame.
right.
Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Jim Leland. Solid class. All of them
So,
belong there, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say, everybody was in a panic yesterday when the U.S. almost lost to South
Oh,
Sudan without
uh
Bobo. Bobo didn't even play. He pulled
huh.
out of the Olympics, and we were in a
And almost would have
tight
been
one.
a monumental upset. The U.S. was favored by like what,
For
43, 53
yeah,
points?
it was almost 50. Yeah, I think it was
Uh,
like 46 and a half or something. And
and
102, 100. LeBron with the
credit,
game winner
yeah.
later.
And credit to South Sudan because they were shooting the
Man,
lights out early on,
they
man.
were. They
Um,
really were. But the U.S. had to go on a crazy run to get the win.
and a good comeback for them. And as they was it LeBron, it was him saying afterwards, like, "Hey, we like the close ones. It's a good test, a good wake up call,
Yeah.
kind of. That might be,
Depends how you look at it, I guess. Yeah, maybe that'll.
I was about to say it could
Yeah,
be a really, some people might say it might be a bad omen for the U.S. team. That could be a bad omen for the rest of the world because
could be.
if South Sudan wakes them up like that, that could be one of these things. Oh no, they're coming in here winning
Hmm.
every game by 20 now because
Yeah,
they're awake. Um,
yeah. It's just crazy how the rest of the world, though, really, since in the last 30, 30, 40 years, really
mhm,
not on the same level, but it's definitely the playing field is much more balanced than what it was
mhm,
since '92. It's crazy.
mhm. Oh man, but let's see other basketball stuff. It looks like was it official? Yeah, is Russell Westbrook to the
Going
Nuggets?
to We had said something about. I think you had said something about that may be a possibility last week, and we were like, "Be interested to see him come in as your
Hmm.
second unit." That's
Yeah, there was
interesting on
rumors
that.
of it all season that it
Right.
might be happening, and it became official. They
Mm-hmm.
a sign and trade or a trade from the Clippers to the Jazz. The Jazz waive him, and he will sign with the Nuggets. It looks like we said, an
That's
interesting
crazy.
second line score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, uh, the U.S. men's team, since we took a week off, they officially fired Greg Berhalter. We talked about that
Yeah.
last episode. It looked like it was pretty much
Wasn't a
we all
big
knew it was
secret.
coming. Um, let's see. Jacoby Jones, a little sad news. Jacoby Jones, former Texans, Ravens receiver, a
Yeah,
big big time
that's
player
tough.
in the Ravens Super Bowl run in 2012, passed
Mm-hmm.
away.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think was there even a cause of death released.
I don't know. It just seemed like he just went into sleep. But that,
Uh, yeah, I think just
yeah,
kind of
that's
an
what I said. Whoa. Yeah.
unexpected.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Died in his sleep last Sunday morning. 40 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said,
So,
a Ravens, Texans player, a return specialist, just an absolute
yeah.
speedster, New Orleans
Seemed like a real
guy
good,
growing up.
seemed like a good guy.
By all accounts, yeah, very a great human being, really active in the community. Like I said, grew up in New
Yeah.
Orleans from the area, helped out a lot there, helped out a lot in Baltimore and
Mm-hmm.
Houston. Um, like I said, as far as the player, Jacoby Jones, always have a spot in the hearts of Ravens fans for his play in
Oh, yeah.
2012, particularly the
Mm-hmm.
playoff run. Of course, he's the receiver that caught the Mile High Miracle from Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Had a huge receiving touchdown and a kick return touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Um,
He did.
Probably could have won uh,
Could have
the
been
MVP of
MVP.
that game. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
did Ray end up getting it or Joe
I
Flacco?
think
It might have been
Ray.
Joe
I
Flacco.
think
Was it Ray? I
one.
can't remember. Ray won the first time. I gotta look that up now.
I think Ray may have won because of his last game.
Yeah, it was his retirement. No, it was Joe. Yeah, Joe did
I
win
was
that
a
Super
Joe.
Bowl MVP. Yeah,
Okay.
and he probably earned it too. That
Yeah.
playoff run was just absolutely
Just
ridiculous.
crazy. That's what got him that big money.
Yeah,
Whoever
yeah.
be
Never
Peyton,
quite,
be Peyton,
never
be
touched,
Tom.
never really touched it again. But
No.
he did have his statistically his best year a couple of seasons later when
Right.
what's his face Gary Kubiak became the
Mm.
offensive coordinator. He really uh, just balled out that offense. But yeah, no. So Jacoby Jones, hearts go out to his family, of course. Sad loss for
Yeah.
football.
So, yeah.
Um, Other Ravens related stuff. Eddie Jackson signs with the Ravens. Good pickup for them. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
past his prime now, and some injuries have slowed him down
Yeah.
the past couple seasons. But absolute amazing player at Alabama, the middle of last decade, and a two-time Pro Bowler, really solid
He had
player
some
for the
good years
Bears.
and
Yeah,
some great years in Chicago.
yeah, and he will. that's a guy that they of course they already have Marcus Freeman and then Kyle
Hmm.
Hamilton, but to add him to that safety core gives you some depth and
Yeah,
the
some depth,
ability
some
to
knowledge, and
some knowledge and the ability to move guys around. You can move
right.
Hamilton down, on a slot or move him down close to the line to play the run. And
Yeah,
Eddie Jackson's always been a great kind of free safety like or center fielder type free safety.
right.
In the
Yeah,
vein of Ed Reed, kind of that similar style. Just let him kind of
yeah,
roam
for
the
sure.
outfield
Ball
play,
hawk.
and yeah, absolute ball hawk and guy that can make a play with his feet if he gets the
Yeah,
ball. Former Raven and Dolphin and Cardinal and Raider, he bounced around, but Kenyon Drake announced his retirement.
yeah, I saw that.
Um, solid career, nothing
Wasn't
spectacular. Well,
amazing, but
no, he'll always have that that play for the Dolphins, that lateral crazy
mhm.
last minute play that knocked New England out of a 1 seed, and
Yeah,
um,
epic.
mhm. What he played for, what, a solid
I mean, he had a
seven,
long career.
8 seasons.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing to.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing to be ashamed of. Of course, his pro career never matched the heights of his college
Uh,
career, which Alabama fans, big fond memories. Of course, the huge kick return in the title game against Clemson.
oh yeah,
Big time plays with his feet throughout his career, just so fast. Um,
yeah. There's a
just a dude
highlight
that was.
reel.
Hmm.
you he can, you just he always had that ability that any second he could take it to the house.
Just had some unfortunate injury luck in his career. That's why that kick return too is such a great memory for so many Alabama fans because
Oh
he had
man,
battled
definitely.
a broken leg. Was coming
Yeah,
back from like
yeah,
a broken leg and had a broken
yeah.
wrist at one point in his career. Just these big time injuries, and he battled through them. And that was such a
That was a game
kind
changer in
of
that game.
like it was huge in the sense of the game, and also huge in like an emotional, euphoric
Yeah,
almost. Uh,
exactly.
him getting that corner, but so that happened this week. Uh, yeah, that's all my notes I have for
Hmm. Yeah,
anything that happened this week. Of
mm,
course, we had the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and Home Run Derby.
yeah.
Um, AL wins again, man. And it's in our lifetime, the AL has just
AL just
dominated
dominated.
this
Yeah,
series.
absolutely dominated.
It's
Don't
kind
know
of
why that's the
ridiculous,
case, but
and it's weird. I think maybe all time the the National League might actually still have the lead somehow, which is crazy.
and
But
then that's it seems like since we were little kids, it seemed like the American League always wins the World Series.
it
I mean,
has
excuse me, the All
absolutely
Star
been
game. Yeah, it's been wow. Yeah, very one
um,
sided.
no, yeah, they had that huge streak in what the '90s and 2000s where they won like 12 in a row or something ridiculous. But yeah, if you
Yeah.
look in our lifetime, yeah, they have just dominated it. I mean, from
Hmm.
let's see, if we count and starting in 1984, let's see how many national wins I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in our 40 years on Earth, they've won the National League. It's only won 10 times.
Wow.
Uh, so
That's why
yeah,
it
that
doesn't seem. Yeah, so it's crazy.
yes, so it's true.
That's
Yeah, they
been.
have.
You got to think of all the talented National League players that have come through and been
Mhm.
an All Star, and at the
I
time
mean,
probably had better teams.
yeah, I mean, you
But
look at this. So the National League won 3 in a row, 94, 95, 96. And
hmm
then they didn't win another All-Star game until 2010. That means they had Barry Bonds during the absolute peak of his career, couldn't win one.
hmm
Sammy Sosa during the peak of his career,
yeah,
Mark McGuire, all those
right.
guys like that. All those
All
great
those guys.
pitchers, Randy
They had
Johnson, the
All the
Braves, yeah,
Braves pitchers. Man, that's just wild to think about.
couldn't win the All-Star
The
game.
All-Star game. Yeah,
Won
it's
3 in a
crazy.
row in 2010, 11, 12. And then
Hmm.
lost another like 10, 9, 10 in a row. Um,
It's just crazy. That
yeah.
doesn't even make sense.
Mm-mm. Just crazy. Actually, all time it's actually 48-44 in favor of the American League.
Okay.
Um,
You would think that so at some point the National League really was way ahead
hmm Yeah, right. So they must have dominated early on.
before we were
Uh,
born. That the National League was serious.
hmm But it's fun, of course. Let's see. I've talked about it. It's in Atlanta next year, so um, I think I've talked with a couple of friends about it'd be cool to try to get to that. I don't know how much All Star Game tickets are. At least maybe
I
go
don't
see the
know.
Home Run Derby. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, eh,
That's probably my favorite part of it is the home run derby.
yeah.
Some of the rule changes,
Mhm.
but I like it.
Would you say that is the Home Run Derby the best All Star related event in all of the sports to you, or is that 3-point or dunk contest maybe?
I think I made a post about it that night. Man, I don't know. I think I liked the when I was a kid. I really liked the dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody liked the dunk contest at some point. It's kind of, eh. I don't know. I like the 3-point contest, but I don't know. It's something about the home run derby. It's
Yeah.
probably my favorite as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. The rule
Yeah, I
changes.
liked
It's
it.
it's whatever. Yeah, but it's
It's
a
a
good
fun event.
contest. No, yeah, it's always fun. It's a good show, and some big names still do it. So
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
yeah.
Some big stars get in there, and it's man when they get on that heater, man, it's so fun to
Oh
watch when they
yeah.
start dropping like 5, 6, 7,
Mm.
8 in a row.
And
Bow,
just
bow, bow, bow.
bombs too, and they make it look effortless.
Yeah, because man, you have to think, man, at the end of that home run derby, if you did every round, how tired are you? My
No, oh
goodness,
no,
your arms, man, that's
just
crazy.
struggling. Um,
Yeah,
but
and then, yeah, they make it look effortless. Just
yeah, of
bow.
course, this year's version won by Teoscar Hernandez beat Bobby Witt Jr. in the
Hmm.
finals. But yeah,
That's
always
crazy.
such a
He was
fun
the
event.
first Dodger to ever win the home run derby.
Crazy. Um, I just wish the Braves could do better, man. Braves players never do good in that event. We had
No.
our band, the Big Bear,
Yeah,
um, yeah, Marcelo Zuna. He couldn't even get out first round, man.
getting out the first round. Yeah.
Uh, but no, yeah, it's a fun event. I'd like to try to go.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's an exciting one. Like we said, it still got brings out some of the bigger names. It's fun. It's kind of that. It's very showy. It's easy for the fans to digest.
Yeah. I mean, you
Um,
don't even have to. Yeah. You don't even have to
now,
really know anybody that's even in the event to enjoy
no, yeah, yeah.
it. So
And now if the Major League Baseball could just never do those All Star uniforms again,
ever
would
terrible.
just
Could
let
we
the
just go
team.
back to just let the
Yeah.
people wear their
Mm-hmm.
team uniform, their hat in there?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was so. Just I don't know. Yeah, but those were terrible.
So much
I
better.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let them wear the team uniform.
Exactly.
Darks for the road team, whites for the home
Hmm.
team.
Yeah. Exactly.
Uh, yeah. But that's that. So
Yeah.
now we're on the second half of the Major League Baseball season.
Yeah.
Um,
The
trade
business
deadline
picks
coming
up.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
business picking up. But anything else in the world of sports you want to touch on before we go this week?
Well, what did they have I guess a little bit. I mean, they had the WNBA All-Star
Oh,
game, and the
yeah, that's true.
WNBA team beat the Olympic team. I mean,
Mm,
I wasn't too shocked by that, but I mean, it's the toughest team the Olympic team will play.
hmm Yeah,
And
by
so,
far. Yeah.
I mean, because that's the one thing the women's game, the international, just hasn't kind of quite like the men's game when it comes to playing against the U.S.
No.
It's
Yeah.
nowhere near. So they should have
Um,
an easy run to another championship, and that's been an impressive run of championships. But
hmm
that was entertaining last night. Angel Reese had was I think the first triple double ever in a All Star game, if I'm not
Oh, yeah.
mistaken. But yeah, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, it's just a lot of sometimes night outside of mowing the grass, and yeah, it's been a
Hmm.
lot of college football.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, a lot of college football, a lot of anticipated. So yeah, our next big things now is in terms of sports. We got the Olympics coming up this week.
yeah,
Opening ceremonies on what, Friday,
I believe so. Yeah, always cool.
Thursday maybe. Yeah. So we'll get to see the start of those games firing up. Like I mentioned,
Yeah,
the MLB trade deadline coming up soon, about 10 days.
yeah,
So yeah, we're hitting that. Uh, that
yeah.
kind
Last week
of.
was the SEC Media Day. Now the Big Ten is this week. If you're a Big Ten
Hmm.
fan,
Yeah.
um,
We'll have more and more. College fall practice will start up.
mhm,
You'll start to see more college football previews online and on TV.
yeah,
Um,
everybody will have their 2 cents on.
yeah, we'll figure
But
out our
yeah,
schedule and
all right.
figure out when we can do ours.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing is, just the whole debate of how many teams will, that was a big thing too. SEC media day, just how many SEC teams will make the playoff. I think that'll be a big
Hmm.
talking point for everybody. Will the SEC get 4 or 5? Will the Big Ten get that? What will the Big 12 get? I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out as far as,
Hmm.
when we have a whole bunch of 10-2 teams, who gets to push. So that'll be interesting.
Hmm. All right, yeah. So that's what we got to look forward to.
Yes, sir. Big stuff
Let's
coming.
Yeah, let's go ahead and call it a day. Greg, what has been done up? Actually, do I even need to ask this week what's been done up real good for
No,
us?
I
No,
think I think we are.
we know it's the return to college football.
No, man, yeah,
Yeah, thank you, EA Sports. You're definitely
back in
not
front.
a perfect company by any stretch, but
But hey,
just
we'll take
hit
it.
us with those. Yeah, thank you for bringing this game back.
Yeah,
Now hit that patch and fix those little bugs, and
yeah.
hey, let's call it a day.
All right.
Yeah, so thanks everybody once again for listening. Do subscribe, like us, give us good ratings on whatever platform you do listen to us on. Tell your friends about us, tell your rich friends about us. Check out all the podcasts on the Alabama Take family podcast. Check out the alabamaTake.com. I believe we just had a new book review, a new writer up there. As Blaine
Nice.
tries to grow our roster of writers there and get some more stuff on the website itself. Um, and thank you once again for listening. Be sure to keep it done up real good yourselves out there, Greg, buddy. Try to get some sleep now.
Well, just sitting at work, huh? Sleep.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, right.
cool. Now I'm 40 now. Can't bounce back as well.
No,
Let's say till 3 and 4.
right? No more getting it done on 2-3 hours of sleep.
No, can't do it.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, buddy.